Hi Fude lovers, welcome back to my channel. I'd love for you to comment, like, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. I'll be doing something different today and go over some of the new releases that have come out over the past couple of months, restocks, intriguing brushes and sets, which is basically my maybe list, or was on my maybe list, and my wish list, all from CDJapan. This is the beauty section homepage of their website. It's Golden Week in Japan, and CDJapan is running a coupon promotion until May 5th, Japan time. I'll link the coupon page below. If you're watching this after the coupon period has ended, then you can always wait for another one. I love that they have coupons every once in a while and that you can use the points you've accumulated from past purchases towards future purchases. The yen is also weak against the US dollar at the moment if you pay in USD, so things are cheaper than they normally are. Starting off with new releases by brand, Kyun revealed their Indian Giant Scroll 8-piece makeup brush set in December of 2021. It has a red to black gradient with the name Yoshiki engraved into the handle in gold. The description says, the gradation from black to red on the handle expresses the hope from the chaotic times to the bright future with the worldview of Wa. In this context, the word Wa is defined as harmony. I like red and black combinations like their red handles and black ferrules from their discontinued gray scroll line. This one is different with the gradation and squared handles. I wish there were a design on the handles like the Raden Fuji Sakura ones. It comes with a box and a pouch that looks like a brush roll. I'm glad to see that the hair length for the largest powder brush is 50mm, as it's been harder to source longer hairs over the past couple of years. But this is an expensive set, so they better include a brush that's at least 50mm in it. The Indian Giant Scroll hair type is a type of scroll that's never been used to make Fude before. The listing description describes it as a raw material with exquisite firmness. I wonder if it feels really different from regular gray and blue scroll. The powder and blush brushes are a mix of Indian Giant Scroll and the softest scroll, while the eyeshadow brushes are purely made out of Indian Giant Scroll hair. The description mentions firmness 3 times. They really wanted to emphasize that. I also checked the Kyun Japanese site for this listing, and it says they restocked 100 limited edition sets after they received a lot of requests to restock it after the first time. I had no idea it was this popular. The Kyun Kokuzo powder brush is their Lunar New Year tiger brush, but CDJapan just sold out recently. They might be able to restock it if you ask them. I was originally excited for it and wanted it, but then decided to pass after the Beautylish Lunar New Year Tiger Brush came out. The short handle of the Kyun brush didn't appeal to me, and the Beautylish design is much cuter in my eyes. I'm incredibly excited for next year's brush, the Year of the Rabbit. It's going to be so cute. This isn't a new release, but more like a set made up from their existing brushes with a pouch. The Kyun Kakishi Buzome 5-piece set with pouch. The hairs are made out of sekoho and the tips are dyed, which is why it has a color gradient from top to bottom. I've read good things about this line. The latest Kyun Indian Giant Scroll 8-piece makeup brush is called Shoryu. It means rising dragon, which is very fitting considering the handle has a design of a flying dragon that looks like it's rising. The description notes that master brush craftsman Yoshiki Uematsu has painstakingly drawn the design to each of the handles. Does it look painted or printed onto you? It's hard to tell. It also has the name Yoshiki engraved on the back of the handles. Both the handles on this set and the red gradation set are handmade. It comes with a box and a pouch that looks like a brush roll. The crazy thing is that this set isn't even available on the Kyun Japanese site at the moment. I checked the specs and the heads are the same as the set with the black and red gradient. Bishodo Ueda came out with their Shiori series, which are completely made out of synthetic hairs. The description says the cutting-edge fiber is very close to animal hair and that the absorbing texture is completely different from conventional artificial hair. It also notes that the heads are densely packed. Very interesting. They seem pretty popular. Both the powder and blush brushes only have one left in stock at the time of filming this video. A lot of the brushes are either low in stock or back-ordered. The powder brush also received a good rating. Both brushes are flat, but they also have a round candlestick-shaped highlight brush. I think they're pricey for synthetic hairs, but may be curious enough to try out their blush brush someday. CDJapan has been consistently adding new Eihodo outlet and special price brushes as well. I've been happy and satisfied with most of the grayscale ones I've picked up in the past, so I would definitely recommend them. Eihodo's latest Weasel eyeshadow brush is called the GS2. The name is the same as the Hokoro GS2. They call this the renewal version. The hair length is 15mm. It notes that the tip is smaller and firmer than the GS1. The GS1 is made out of gray scroll though, so I thought that was an interesting comparison. It's like apples to oranges. Chikuhodo released the largest powder brush in their FO series called the FO9. The FO series heads are made out of silver fox hair. The rounded head and tapered shape looks wonderful. I have a thing for round brush heads, be it flat or rounded ferrules. I'll most likely like it if the top edges are rounded. The FO9 head looks like it would probably lose some of its taper post-wash and expand a ton. It would make for a large fluffy brush. The hair length is 51mm compared to the FO1 that is 45mm. I wish they came out with this one as FO1 first because I like this shape more. Both brushes have good reviews anyway, so I don't think you can go wrong with either. If you like smaller brushes, go for the FO1. If you like larger brushes, go for the FO9. They also recently released a new eyeshadow brush from the series, the FO10. It's in the shape of a finger and has a hair length of 15mm. It says it allows you to apply makeup as if you were applying it with your fingertips. It mentions the slanted tip of the brush has a firmness that allows you to express delicate nuances as if you were drawing with your fingertips. I'm taking it as they glued the hairs into the ferrule pretty tightly. The latest addition to the Chikuhodo regular series is RS9. It's a flat and tapered weasel eyeshadow brush. The hair length is 14mm. It says it has the perfect length and form to give you the best control, and that weasel hair is characterized by its firmness and good color rendering. Weasel hair is known for its firmness and absorbing less product compared to other hair types, which is why people like to use it for creams, liquids, and gel products. It's not a favorite hair type of mine, but I think a lot of people like it. I think this next brush release would be exciting to those of you who love both the Chikuhodo Takumi series and foundation brushes. The T13 foundation brush is a short, dense puffball-shaped foundation brush with a hair length of 30mm. I actually never read the description before, but it says that the Psycho hair from the Takumi series is as soft as gray squirrel hair and has the strength of goat hair. The Takumi Psycho is not as soft as gray squirrel. It's soft, but not that soft. Maybe it'd be the same softness if you got a really coarse batch of squirrel hair. I think this brush would work well for those of you who don't have sensitive skin. I think the next Chikuhodo release is the most exciting one. The MKSK. It's a gray scroll maquille powder brush with a flat rounded head and oval ferrule. This is the newest maquille brush after both the MK1 and 2 were discontinued. I'm pretty sad that they discontinued the other two and wish they didn't so that people who got into Fude later could try them. I keep calling this one the MK3 in my head because the ferrule and handle are glossy, which is the same as the MK1 and 2. The other maquille brushes they came out with over the years have or had matte ferrules and handles. I prefer glossy ferrules and handles. This design features golden sakura flowers on a branch in traditional Yamanaka Nuri lacquer work style maquille. The sakura are iridescent in some areas. Not enough for my liking though, I prefer much more iridescence, but that's just me. There's writing on the handle. Chikuhodo seems to release brushes with the same heads but different maquille designs in their maquille line, discontinue them, then come out with new ones. The head shares the same hair length and looks the same as their other maquille brushes such as the MKMO and the MKUM. It also shares about the same hair length and shape as the Beautylish Presents Lunar New Year brushes. The MKSK, KO, and UM all have a hair length of 47mm, while the Beautylish Presents brushes are 47.625mm. Another example is that the MKKO shares the same hair length and shape as the MK1 and MK2s. The MKMO and UM both say sold out on the CDJapan website, but there were no announcements of them being discontinued, and they're both still available on Chikuhodo's online shop. I'm hopeful that they'll both be restocked on CDJapan eventually for any of you who missed out on them before. That's me included because I contemplated on the UM for way too long and then it sold out. On to Restocks. I'm not sure if these will still be available by the time this video goes live, but CDJapan restocked both the Koyudo White Canadian Scroll Powder S and blush brushes. I posted about them on the community section of my YouTube page when they went live, and I'll do it again if they restock next time. The S powder brush is my holy grail scroll powder brush, and I highly recommend it. It's in my holy grail scroll brush video. White Canadian scroll hair is exquisite and very soft. As for intriguing brushes or my maybe list, appearance-wise, the Koyudo Silver Fox 5-piece set looks like a nice set. The largest powder brush has a lovely shape and shares the same hair length as the discontinued Raden Fuji Sakura powder brushes. I really like the design on the box, but wish it were painted. Overall, it does look like a nice set, but if I were given handles to choose from, I'd pick the Raden Fuji Sakura ones over these in a heartbeat. CDJapan has had a few of the Chikuhodo 2018 Noel Collection Rouge Christmas sets in stock ever since it came out. This was on my maybe list for a long time. I'm not a huge fan of the handle design and mainly wanted it for the powder brush. I do think it's worth getting if you would use most of the brushes in the set and like the handle design. The 2018 Rose Pale set is also still available on their website. I was also very intrigued by this ginormous Hokodo gray scroll finishing powder brush before. I think the black glossy ferrule, handle, and red engraving combination are sleek. I would have kept it as a collector's brush if I got it. What stopped me was the extremely long hair length of 68 millimeters. As someone who loves medium-sized powder brushes, this would have been too much for me both in size and price because I wouldn't have used it much at all. That's why I never got the Chikuhodo P8. Although the hairs are shorter at 63 millimeters, it's still incredibly long for me. At least the P8 is cheaper and comes with an ebony holder. I almost bought one of these Koyudo Makie Gray Scroll powder brushes last year. I like the black ferrule against the red handle and gold makie. The difference between the two is that the 30,000 yen one has a hair length of 50 millimeters, while the 28,000 yen one has a hair length of 45 millimeters. So 2,000 yen more for 5 millimeters of hair. The larger one is still tempting. I contemplated this Koyomo Hana Walnut Shibucha blush brush many times over the past 2 years. I wanted a Koyomo blush brush that had a wooden handle, but decided on the Sakura one over this one. The Sakura handle is magnificent and one of my favorite wooden handles, which made me want more wooden handle Koyomo blush brushes. I've flip-flopped on the walnut one forever and still haven't bitten the bullet yet. The walnut handle looks plain to me, so I'm not sure if I'll ever pick it up. Since I love the Ueda Bishoto Pink Puffy so much, I considered getting the rose-shaped version last year, but I noticed Bishoto switched the hairs of both brushes from Saikoho to Sokoho. I love the Saikoho hair on my Puffy and am disappointed they switched over. Regardless, being able to use the rose shape to smooth on powder smoothly is fascinating to me, and I definitely was intrigued and tempted. Maybe you'll also be intrigued if you don't have sensitive skin. Lastly is the Eihodo LQ3. It was back-ordered the last time I went to place an order and I didn't want to wait. This is basically the same as the Chikuhodo G12 that I love, but the LQ3 is 20mm while the G12 is 21mm. The LQ3 is also 300 yen more for shorter hair. Like, why? I really like how this type of brush smooths on my tinted moisturizer in the summer. I just saw a review saying they didn't like the bundling at all, so I moved it from my wish list to my maybe list. It's probably better to get the Chikuhodo G12 for 300 yen less than if you're also interested in the LQ3. My current wish list is small. The Chikuhodo MKUM was yet another brush I contemplated for a very long time. I was deciding between this and the Z9 last year and ended up getting the Z9 because it has a glossy ferrule and handle and longer hairs at 52mm and is cheaper. The UM is 47mm. So you get longer hair for a cheaper price with the Z9, but it doesn't have the makie design or box. I don't need the box. I'm used to not getting brushes with individual Chikuhodo brushes anyway, so I'd be happy if they could sell it for less without the box. I like the magenta plum blossoms and reflective moon on the design, but not how the tree branch is cut off abruptly on the bottom. I think the head would be the same as the Beautylish Presents Lunar New Year brushes, so I would probably like it if it were as dense and soft. I wish the ferrule and handle were glossy, but I would still get it despite some of the things I dislike about it. It's hard to resist shiny things, and the moon is so shiny. Someone please tell me if the handle is weighted. The matte tin-looking ferrules and handles look thin and lightweight to me. The Chikuhodo MKSK is on my list, but more like my maybe list. I almost bought it when CDJapan released it recently, but wasn't entirely sure about the handle design. I think Chikuhodo brushes generally look better in person than in stock photos, so hopefully it'll be stunning in real life. I think I would get it for collecting purposes if I did end up getting it. You never know when another brush is going to get discontinued. Also, if Eihodo releases any more affordable grayscale brushes, then I'd be down for getting more. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye!